inside the dramatic incidents, including a near-fatal crash in real life, that inspired the Formula One film. Sonny Hayes' character in the film F1 was based by a Formula One driver's career-ending accident. Many of the concepts that make Formula One the most exciting and fast-paced racing are fictionalized in the film. F1, which was produced by Top Gun, Maverick's Jerry Bruckheimer and 7-time Formula One world champion Lewis Hamilton, centers on seasoned racer Sonny Hayes, Brad Pitt, and his improbable comeback to grid 30 years after a near-fatal track accident. In addition to returning to the sport that injured him, Sonny must collaborate with his hotshot rookie teammate Joshua Pierce, damson Idris, to produce results on the track and prevent the team from collapsing after his friend and the owner of a struggling Formula One team, Ruben Cervantes, Javier Bardem, persuades him to return as one of his 2 drivers. A real-life near-fatal crash that happened in 1990 served as the inspiration for the accident that initially ends Sonny's career. Hamilton was brought in as an executive producer and advisor to help the Apple film achieve its goal of being the most genuine movie about Formula One. Director Joseph Kosinski informed Formula One in March 2025 that Hamilton was crucial for both technical accuracy and accurately portraying an F1 driver's viewpoint. Lewis played a significant role not only in the technical aspect of the film, but also in its actual formative stage, Kosinski stated. Sonny Hayes, a rather seasoned racer, and Joshua Pierce, a beginner, are the subjects of our story. Lewis has been both. Everything you need to know about Formula One and the actual events that serve as inspiration for the film is provided here. Is the narrative behind Formula One true? Although Formula One is not based on a single true story, its themes draw from a range of actual racing incidents that have occurred since the sport's founding in 1950. Experienced Formula One drivers have frequently left the sport to compete in other racing categories over the years, only to return years later. This is depicted in the F1 movie when Sonny leaves the organization to race in other disciplines. After winning the World Drivers' Championship, a number of Formula One drivers, including Nigel Mansell, Kimi Räikkönen, and Fernando Alonso, left the paddock to compete in IndyCar, the World Rally Championship, the 24 Hours of Le Mans World Endurance Championship, and the Dakar Rally before eventually returning to F1. A career-altering or fatal accident is another connection between Sonny's story and many actual F1 racers. In a June 2025 episode of the Beyond the Grid podcast, Pitt disclosed that the backstory of his character was inspired by the near-fatal crash of former Formula One driver during the 1990 Spanish Grand Prix. Sonny's Formula One career stalls after a near-fatal crash in the early days of his championship campaign. Pitt stated, "We based Sonny's past on Martin Donnelly's crash, alluding to the fast collision that knocked Donnelly out of his car and left him comatose on the asphalt for about 11 minutes. Pitt continued, "Martin was so gracious to give us his footage and to allow us to build our character around that. In July 2025, Donnelly told the BBC that he assisted Pitt on set with advice over his actions both within and outside of the race. The former Formula One great stated, he was asking me to direct him around the garage. He did precisely the same thing in the film, and I had a hunch about entering from the left side and putting my left leg in first. It was bizarre to witness that. At those things, you had to pinch yourself." The F1 film also examines the issue of the respected veteran versus the rising star. Talented rookie drivers have been fiercely challenging and even surprised defeating experienced champions for decades. The sport most recently saw Hamilton and Max Verstappen fight in contentious 2021 season, with Verstappen defeating the 7-time world champion in the campaign's last Grand Prix. Hamilton, who joined the sport as a 22-year-old rookie in 2007 and tied the season with 2-time champion Alonso before losing the championship match by 1 point to Räikkönen, was previously in Verstappen's shoes as well. Are the F1 characters based on actual people? A number of F1 characters were inspired by actual Formula One racers. Carrie Condon stated in a June 2025 interview with Today that she developed her character Kate McKenna, the technical director for APXGP, after learning about Bernie Collins' work as an F1 strategy pundit for Sky Sports and F1 TV and a former strategy engineer for the Aston Martin F1 team. Condon remarked, "We did take a bit of an artistic license where I play a strategist in certain parts of the movie with the tires and stuff. I'll just do everything, I thought. However, Because Bernie attended an all-girls school and had a comparable education to mine, I was able to include a lot of my own history and make it uniquely mine. Regarding Barnum's portrayal of Reuben, the actor told Today that he drew inspiration from a mix of different team owners that I would meet or see on documentaries and just put them together rather than from a single Formula One competitor. Murray Walker, a boisterous pundit in real life, served as the model for Simon Coons' character Don Cavendish. Did Formula One film at actual races? With Hamilton's assistants, Bruckheimer and Kosinski, were able to film at multiple actual Formula One races throughout the 2023 and 2024 seasons, since they wanted the film to be as accurate as possible. The APXGP vehicles, driven by Pitt and Idris, recorded actual lap times on the track in Silverstone, Spa-Francorchamps, Monza, Zandvoort, Suzuka, Las Vegas, Abu Dhabi, and Mexico City, while operating out of a specially designed garage. Hamilton noted how crucial it was to him that the two actors get the demands of Formula One inside the cockpit in an interview with Formula One in June 2025. We actually filmed on race weekend with the film's 11th team, APXGP, and you'll definitely see that authenticity come through in the film, the Ferrari driver remarked. The access we've had to Formula One is totally unheard of. I think having Brad and Damson drive was essential to the authenticity of the story, the speed at which you're processing information, the effect on the body, the strength of the brakes, the G-forces. Hamilton went on. You can't fake it. Therefore, I believe that was crucial for them. You can't imagine if you haven't experienced it. By driving these cars, and they both did a great job, I think both of them got a real appreciation for what being a racing driver really means. And that's what you get to see in the film, Hamilton continued. In an interview with Deadline in July 2024, Kosinski also discussed the production's extraordinary engagement on the track during actual F1 race weekends. Brad and Damson are actually operating the vehicles, which is pretty amazing in and of itself, he remarked. But the logistics of doing that in front of a live audience at the speeds they're doing and figuring out a way to capture it are unlike anything I've done before.